So topic 2, we're also going to talk about customer relationship management. So in this one, I know the MIS students are going to be happy because we're going to talk a little bit about data. So how is data help supply chain? Well, the data helps us figure out many things. For example, demand. How much should we have in inventory? How much should we manufacture? Well, we can look at historical demand. And then we have some complicated formulas that can help us figure out demand. But how much should we produce based on that demand? And then based on what we want to produce, how much should we order in raw materials? And then so on and so forth. And how much information should we tell our supplier about our sales data, so perhaps they can prepare for our orders? All this kind of information is my customer relationship management. So we capture this data several ways. And I'm sure many of you have seen rewards cards. So you might get points, which then you can use for discounts later, or you have some type of membership. For example, Sam's Club. And you get a membership card. Well, you have to scan that card in order to check out. Well, what do you think they're doing with that information? Well, they know what you've purchased because you've had to sign up for the membership. You gave them your name, your address, your phone number, might have given them your age, all this other kind of information. And now they know that you bought, tomatoes, or that you went and purchased a huge case of water. All these different things can be tracked. And because this data is captured, a lot of things can be done with it when we get to the analytics side. Targeted promotions. Have you ever got an email based on a purchase that you've done? And you're like, well, how did you know that I did that? Or, oh yeah, that's something that I might be interested in. Or maybe got something in the mail because you bought one product and you got something in the mail that's a complementary product to what you bought. All these different kind of things can happen with targeted promotions. Or perhaps because your car might be registered with the Department of Motor Vehicles, and now because it's on file, companies buy this information from the state and then they send out information. They try to sell you a warranty because your car is over a certain number of years old. So you probably don't have the manufacturer's warranty on anything anymore. So they'll try to sell you a warranty. Or you purchased a house, which is public record when it gets filed with the courthouse as a ownership document. And now they're trying to see if you want to refinance your mortgage after you've had your mortgage for 2 months. All these things are targeted promotions. And so that might lead you into product selection. All these options are being put in front of you. And you might select one of these things because they're giving you things that you might be interested in. Let's say you bought an electronic device. Well, now they're sending you emails or sales about other electronic devices. You bought an iPhone, so now they're trying to sell you the AirPods, the earbud things. Or they're trying to sell you the watch to go with it. Now they might try to do these things. New product development. Well, they might reach out to you and ask for feedback on the product. So if you bought something, let's say you bought a pen. Well, what did you like about the pen? Is there something that you want different about the pen? Or let's say you bought a webcam for your computer. Well, what did you like about it? What did you not like about it? Did you like how the quality of it or the ease of use, installation? And they can take all this feedback and develop a new product. And then they can also go off of pricing. So if they see that you haven't purchased in a long time, they might send you coupons, $5 off a purchase of $50. Well, that gets you in the store, and you might use that coupon, but chances are you're going to spend more than $50 to use that $5 coupon. So how else are retailers using the data to change the way they do business? There's a lot of different ways. It's almost a endless way. So the MIS folks, this might be something you'd be really interested in. So we have two common mistakes when it comes to data in supply chain. So it's correlation but not causality. As with all data, when we look backwards, that data does not necessarily predict the future. So when we're using it to forecast the future demand of a product, let's say, well, it's just that, a forecast. It's an educated guess, but we have data to back up that educated guess. We could be completely wrong, and sometimes we're close. But with a forecast, we're never 100% correct. We're always wrong. But another thing too, with a common mistake with our data, is looking beyond the data. Looking beyond the mark. The data is the data. So if we see, let's say, overall sales have dropped off, well, somebody might be looking at what the data says. Well, prices went up, so that means we need to have a sale and bring some prices down. Well, that might be it, but what are some other things? Has the employees perhaps been rude in the store and it's running people out of the store? They don't want to come back. Is it because you put self-checkout lanes and no one wants to use them? They want to actually go through a lane with people that scan their groceries. All these things can impact the data. So sometimes you need to look outside that. But realizing when to look outside and when to actually look inside the data is something that people need to realize. So with data, I mean, there's so much that can be done and said about it. But for the supply chain, it's a starting point that leads us into other areas. So we're not hitting it too hard. So we're just kind of going over it quickly. But I hope you understand that data points us in the direction that we need to go. And we're going to close up this topic in our next video, and I look forward to talking to you there.